Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can incorporate upper body strength exercises into your Pilates workout. So we're going to set ourselves up on the mat. We're going to come face down to start with. So we'll come onto the elbows. So we've got the elbows underneath the shoulders. The feet are hip width. Got my shoulders down really well. Feet are hip width apart. So we're going to do a little strength exercise to work those core muscles and work these shoulder muscles to start with. So we're going to make sure we've got that belt on, keep those shoulders nicely engaged, and then when you breathe out, we're going to lift the hips up off the mat and then lower back down. And again, so we breathe out to lift and breathe in to lower. Breathe out, lift, and lower back down. So you need to make sure that the abdominals are nicely engaged. The shoulders are always staying down. Let's just do one more. So we'll move it on a little bit. This time I'm going to tuck my toes under. Okay, we're going to start the same way again. So we're going to lift the hips up. From there we're going to straighten out the legs so the knees come off the mat as well. Lower the knees, lower the hips. And again, so the hips lift, the knees lift, the knees lower, the hips lower. So we do a lift and a lift, lower and lower. So you need to stay nice and strong around the center on this one. You need to make sure that that belt stays on really well. And we'll just do one more, keeping the shoulders down as well. And we'll finish there. Now from here, we're going to turn onto our side. So come to sideline, we're going to come up onto the elbow again. So we need to make sure that we've got the elbow right underneath the shoulder there. I'm going to start off with the legs out straight, so I can make sure that the body's in a nice straight line first of all. And then I'm just going to bend those knees. We'll have the hand on the hip. Actually, I'm going to straighten that top leg out. So I'll have it there, and I'll have it about hip height to start with. So I'm going to feel like I'm lifting the ribs out of the mat to start with. I've got the belt on well, still got those shoulders down well. Okay, so we're going to do a forward kick. So we're going to swing the leg forwards and then swing it back. Swing the leg forward and swing it back. So we breathe out and breathe in. Keeping that leg as straight as you can. One more time. And then we'll lower it down the side of the body. So we're going to see if we can lift the hips up again this time. So you've got to make sure that you keep this shoulder down really well. Keep those abdominals engaged. So when you breathe out, we're going to send the arm up and over and lift the hips and then come back down. So we breathe out to lift and lower. Breathe out, lift and lower. So keep that belt on really well. Feel like those abdominals are nicely engaged. Here's the last one. Wonderful, we can rest there. We're going to push ourselves up. We're going to come round onto all fours this time. So I've got myself set up. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So I'm looking straight down at the mat the whole time on this one. Shoulders are nicely engaged, abdominals are engaged. So this time I'm going to slide one leg out and float it up to hip height and then slide it back in. Slide the other one out, slide it back in. Breathing out and breathing in. So I need to keep the shoulders down really well on this one to make me feel nice and strong in the upper body as I do it. One more on each leg. Here's the last one. And then from here, we're going to go into the plank. So we're going to take one leg out, nice and straight, toes are tucked under. Then we're going to take the other leg out, nice and straight, toes tucked under. Keep the hips nice and low. Bring that first leg back in, and then bring the second leg back in. Then we do it again. So one leg goes out, the other leg goes out. Bring one leg in, bring the other leg in. We'll do it one more time. Leg goes out, leg goes out. Leg in, And the last one. Then from there we can sit back into shell stretch. Reach those arms forward. Come back up to sitting. So because we've done our side lying on one side, we're going to turn around and we're going to do it all again. So we'll come back down onto the mat again. So we're back onto the elbows. So I've got those shoulders down well. I've got the belt on. Keep those abdominals engaged. Feet are hip width. So we're going to lift the hips up out of the mat. So take a breath in to prepare. When you breathe out, we're going to lift the hips up and lower back down. So the more you keep the shoulders down, those shoulder blades down, the stronger you will feel in the upper body. Breathe out to lift and lower. Breathe out, lift and lower. Just one more to go. Keep the shoulders down well. Tuck the toes under. So this time as we breathe out, we lift the hips, lift the knees, lower the knees, lower the hips, lift the knees, lift the hips. Oh, I said that wrong. We'll do that one again. So it's a lift the hips, lift the knees, lower the knees, lower the hips, hips, knees, knees. One more time. Hips, knees, knees, and hips. So from there, we'll come back into side lying. So on the elbow underneath the shoulder, legs nice and straight to start with. Bend those knees. Got the hand on the hip. I'm going to take that top leg out so it's at hip height. And then we'll go back to our forward kick. So I've got the ribs lifted nicely out of the mat again. And then as you breathe out, you swing the leg forwards and swing it back. Swing it forwards and swing it back. So make sure that you keep this supporting shoulder down really well. Okay, that'll make you feel nice and strong in the upper body again. We'll just do it one more time. Nice straight leg on the last one. And then we'll rest it down. Arms out nice and straight. So this time we're going to lift the hips again. So as you breathe out, the arm goes up and over. We pick the hips up and then we come back down. Breathe out to lift and lower back down. And again, breathe out, lift. And again. 2 more to go. Here's the last one. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to turn ourselves around. We're going to come back into all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So I've found my neutral position again. I've got that slight curve in the lower back. I'm looking straight down at the mat. Keep those shoulders down really well. So this time I'm going to straighten out the leg and float it up. So take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, we straighten out that leg, float it up to hip height, and then bring it back in. Straighten out the other leg, and bring it back in. Taking those legs out nice and straight each time. Keeping the rest of the body as still as you possibly can. One more on each leg. Here's the last one. Okay, so let's finish off with our plank. Same setup again. Keep those shoulders down really well. And then as you breathe out, we take one leg out, tucking the toes under. Take the other leg out, keeping the hips nice and low. Bring one leg in, bring the other leg in. We do it again, so the leg goes out. Leg goes out. Bring it back in. Bring it back in. One more time. Take it out. Take it out. Bring it in. Bring it in. And then sit yourself back down into shell stretch, reaching those arms as far forward as you can. And then just rest into that position.